Section 4.2 Interactive Assignment Introduction. In this example, it says consider the data set given in the accompanying table, and then we're going to complete parts A through C. So the first part wants us to draw a scatter diagram treating X as the explanatory variable and Y as the response variable, and then we're going to choose the graph below. So I'm going to go ahead and then open up this data into StatCrunch. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a scatter plot. So I'm going to select graph. I'm going to scroll all the way down to where it says scatter plot. I'm going to make sure the X variable is the X, which is the explanatory variable. And then the Y variable is the response variable. And then I'm going to scroll all the way down, make sure points are the ones that's being displayed. And then I also want to make sure that the vertical and the horizontal lines are selected. So I'm going to select compute. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and copy this on the page. Okay, so here's our graph. But we want to make sure where is our origin. So our origin is actually located right at the middle of the page here, which is at 0, 0. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create an axis right at that particular value there. So let me go ahead and then do that here. Okay. So this goes there, and then I'm going to create this one right here. Okay. And now I want to take a look at my points. Okay, so if we take a look at my points from this graph, okay, if we move to the left 2 units, which is -2, and then we're going to go down -4. Therefore, this point here represents -2, -4. Okay, and then this point right here, we're going to move over -1, and then we're not moving up or down, which is 0, so that point is -1, 0. Okay, this point here, we're starting at 0 and then going up 2. So this is 0 and then 2. And then at this point here, we're going to move over 1, and then we're going to go up 4. So therefore, this is 1 and then 4. And then this point over here, we're going to move over 2 units and then up 5. And so therefore, that represents 2, 5. And now what we want to do is we want to match our graph with the options it's given. Okay. So if we take a look at our graphs here. All right. So we have our graphs. Okay, so this is moving over 1, 2, 3, 4, -4, and then we're moving down 2 units. Okay, so does that match our graph? So we're moving over 2 units, and then we're moving down -4. So we need to find that. So it's not going to be that first one. Okay, let's take a look at this one. We move over 1, 2, and then down 1, 2, 3, 4. It matches with that. We move over -1, and that's 0, and therefore it's -1, 0, and then 0, 2, and then this is 1, and then 4, and then this is 2, and then 5, so it looks like it's going to be selection B. So let's go ahead and do that, and there's our answer. Okay, now it says find the equation of a line that's containing these points. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and then on the second step here of this question, we're going to find the equation of a line that's containing these 2 points. So in order to find the equation of a line, we're going to call this x1, and then we're going to call this x1, and that's y1. And then we're going to call this x2 and then y2. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to find the slope of this line. So the slope equation m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we're going to plug in our numbers. We can see that y2 represents 5. And then we're going to subtract the value of y1. So we're subtracting a -4. and then we're going to divide that by the value of x2, which is 2, and then we're going to subtract the value of x1, which is negative 2. Okay, so if we solve a little further, this becomes 5 plus 4, which is 9, and this becomes 2 plus 2, which is 4. So therefore, m is going to equal 9/4. So if we take 9/4, we're then going to divide that by 9 divided by 4, which gives us 2.25. So that represents our slope. Okay, now the second part is we want to use our point slope form. Well, that is y minus y1, which is equal to our slope m times x minus x1. Okay, so we're going to be using this point and our slope. So we're going to take y and then subtract y1, which is negative 4. And that's going to equal our slope, which we found to be 2.25. And then we're going to multiply that by x minus x1, which is negative 2. Okay, now we just want to clear our signs first. So this is going to become y plus 4. And that's going to equal 2.25 times, that's going to become x plus 2. Okay, now the question is asking us to solve for y, so we need to distribute this 2.25 to both terms. Okay, so we have y plus 4, and 2.25 times x is 2.25x. Okay, and then 2.25, we're going to multiply that by 2, which is going to give us 4.5. Okay, and now in order to solve for y, we're going to subtract 4 to both sides. So y is going to equal 2.25x, and 4.5 minus 4.0 is plus 0.5. So therefore, our equation is going to be y, which is equal to 2.25x plus 0.5. Let's put this into our answer here. Okay, so we have 2.25 plus 0.5. And so therefore, there is our answer. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to graph this line that was found in part B on the scatter diagram. So we're going to come back up here. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to select options, and then we're going to select edit. And then what we're going to do is we want to overlay an equation of a polynomial order, and that order is 1. Okay, and then we're going to select this option here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and copy this information so we know how to put this in there. Okay, so what this means here is that this c subscript 0 is going to represent the y-intercept, which is 0.5. And this c subscript 1 is going to represent the slope, which is 2.25. So let's go ahead and open that back up. Okay, so we have, again, 0.5, and then we have 2.25. And then we're going to select compute. And now it should connect that point, which was the first point, which is negative 2, negative 4, and it should connect the 0.25, which it does. So let's take a look at our options. So you can see here that this graph here represents negative 2, negative 4, and this point up here represents 2 and then 5, so it looks like it's that point and it's that graph. So we're going to go ahead and select A, and that's going to give us our result, and that completes this question.